Represent Podcast, what's going on, baby? Listen, before we get into the episode, I just want to say I am sorry in advance. There's a couple parts of the episode where the audio gets like low quality and kind of cuts out, so whatever. Nonetheless, it's going to be a great episode. Just bear with me on the audio and we'll fix it next week. Cool? Just want to let y'all know. Love y'all. Peace. Yo, welcome back. We're in the building early.
Too early.
We're back in the building. We're with my friend. Hello, Madison.
Hey, dude.
I
almost said it.
We're in the building. Represent Podcast. We're back for another one. How's it going?
Hold on, can I?
No way, bro. You can't just take a sip before we start,
I had
bro.
to. It's going pretty good. I downed a Red Bull, so I'm like, energy.
We're like amped up, you know?
Yeah.
That's good. How's life? What's going on?
Well, things are happening, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa's been sick. He's in the hospital. I got into this car accident.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like one thing after another lately. But I'm just kind of viewing it as like a time where like God is trying to like isolate me so I can just like hear him, whatever he's trying to tell me.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of using this time like, okay, what do I need to do to glorify God's kingdom in this time? Like, what can I do? I'm just kind of seeing, like, his plans for me and, like, figuring out, like, what's my next step.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only really good thing that's been coming out of this. It's just, like, I get to have a lot of one-on-one time with me and God, so.
Yeah. That's good. I think it's good that, like, even though, like, bad things are happening, you're aware, like, how can I make this glorifying? Like, how can I continue to do my job as a Christian even in the middle of this? That's good. I think sometimes, like, as Christians, we're, like, on fire for God, and then things get hard, and we forget.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's like, God, give me patience. And then traffic comes, and we're like, you know?
Yeah, I saw this thing that it was like, if we only eat on Sundays, we'll starve.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, I'm not talking about food. Like, he was talking about God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, that's so true, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane if you really think about it. Because, like, people usually only go to church on Sundays. Like, that's the only time they're, like, interact with God. And it's just, like, you can't just do it on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, an everyday thing or you'll starve. Like, your soul, like,
good and bad.
Yeah, it needs
good and
God.
bad. Yeah, that's a good analogy because, like, you're going to need food no matter what's going on in life.
Yeah.
And you're going to need water. And you're going to need to be taken care of. So it's like, no matter how you're feeling, you need that. And if you don't, you're going to starve.
Yeah.
And if you're, like, starving spiritually, then, like, people notice it.
Oh,
and
most
you're not going to
definitely.
be a good leader, and you're not going to be as efficient or as helpful as you could be.
Yeah.
Because you're starving, bro. And how can you help hungry people if you're hungry?
Dude, yeah. Hey.
Man, we already getting started.
On fire. It's the Red Bull, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Red Bull gives us wings. Anyways.
Is this a sponsorship or what?
No. But yeah, how can you help someone else? How can you feed someone if you're hungry?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to, like, we're like a pitcher of water with our spiritual life, and it's like we're called to be the people who fill other people up, but you can only fill people up so much until you're empty. So you have to continue to be filled in order to pour out to others.
I was just about to say that. It's like you're in my head. Yeah.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
We're connected, Red Bull.
Yes.
We're connected.
Yes.
Well, that's good. So you're doing a gap year program at a Christian camp, and how's that going?
It's going pretty good. I really love it. It's nice to be like one with like God and nature and his people, because you can do a lot of ministry work out there, especially with like the kids, and like I just love kids and like adults too. You know, we have groups that come in and out of different, like, I think right now we have like a college group right there from A&M, like a fraternity. So it's like really nice to like interact with them and be like, hey, you know about that dude named God upstairs, you know? Like, you heard of him?
Yeah.
And they're like, sometimes they're like, no, like, especially with the kids, like, they will get, like, frustrated. This happened to me a few weeks ago. He got frustrated because I was doing, like, reffing the game of paintball. Man, this kid came out cussing up a storm. And, like, just because his team lost. And I'm like, yo, like, why are you being so angry right now? Like, it's just a game. That's all it
Yeah.
is. And he was like, man. And then he, like, said some beep beeps, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you know what God says about being quick to anger?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know? And he was like, I know. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, do you, though? He was like, no, ma'am, not really. And I was like, well, let me tell you. So it was really interesting to see, you know, to put that into work. And me and him ended up becoming friends. And I was like, how can I pray for you? And he was like, man, that's really cool that you just did that. Like, and he was like, you could tell, like, he was like a lot more calm. And it just literally just takes like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
To talk about God. And it could change someone's life, really.
Yeah.
So.
And I think also, like, right in that situation, like, it's good to, like, be a person where it's like, well, you know, like, what the Bible says about that. And, like, just being chill about it rather than being like, you can't be using that language around here. And it's like, because then they'll be like,
they don't want to know anything.
Okay, whatever. So that's good. So, like, what do you think is the biggest thing, like, God is showing you in this time over there? Like, over the last, like, couple months?
Definitely, like, patience. Because I've always struggled with it. And because, you know, like, I feel like in today's society, like, everyone wants to do stuff at a young age. Like, get married, have a house, start having a baby, you know, stuff like that. And so, like, I'm kind of like, am I falling behind right now? Because, like, and then people tell me, like, you're just 21. Yeah. And then we go on social media and we're like, our friends are getting married and they're buying houses and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, I start freaking out, and it makes me want to be like, okay, I don't need to be here anymore. I need to go get another job. I need to. But then that's just like, I'm like, Madison, why are you listening to the world right now? Like, God wants you here. Be here. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, God, you know, I'll wait, you know. So he's definitely showing me, like, patience, which really funny because I had prayed for more of it. And then once I started praying for it, he was like, let's see how much you got first. And I was like, okay, cool. Turns out I don't have that much, but we're working on it. We're working on it.
On a road to improvement.
Most definitely. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, culture's tough, and just the way it's shifted. We were talking about this a couple days ago, how, like, 2020 just, like, is no way it's real. Like,
dude, no.
I think everybody just went to sleep and had the same dream. Dude, yeah. Because, like, the way we live life, like, whether it's about race or whether it's about cultures or ethnicities or how we treat people of, like, different, like, sexual identities, everything we do now stems from 2020.
Dude,
like, we went through the line of, like, every, like, problem or every debate situation, whatever, and everything we do now, how we do things, how we support, why we argue, comes from 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of that is, like, the culture shift of that changed everything. So now everybody's been on social media, and everybody's been in this, like, seeing, like, TikTok went crazy during COVID.
Yeah.
And what you do is you see all these kids blowing up on TikTok quickly getting money, quickly getting ads and stuff like that, buying houses, buying cars, and they're doing, like, 18, 19, 20 years old. Yeah. Or you have people like Charlie D'Amelio who's doing it, like, 17. Like, she doesn't have her own bank account doing it, right? And you have, like, these 19, 20, 21-year-olds like, oh my gosh, I gotta, like, figure this out right now.
Yeah.
And then you got people, these people even today who go on and talk about money and who know what they're talking about, but they think, like, money is the only thing that matters. So it's like, if you're not making $10K a month, and it's like, oh my gosh.
And, like, people don't realize, like, money, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a thing, and it's just so worldly, and nobody like understands that.
And it makes people uneasy because, like, they see how passionate people are, and they see, like, how important it is to people and the nice things they have. So then quickly it just enters your brain. And I think the reason why it enters so quickly is because the Bible says it's the root of all evil. So it's like that's how you know it. That's true in the Bible. Is because, like, whenever it comes to money, it's like, oh yeah, I gotta go get more right now. And then you have to, like, okay, let me be more patient. Let me take my time. God's timing. Let me do this.
Yeah, and people are always like, well, you need money to live. And I'm like, first off, you need God to live.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live through God, He will provide. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a fact. Like, He
Yeah.
will provide. If you are, like, obedient and you listen to Him and, like, you do what He's telling you to do, like,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, He'll provide.
God promises to take care of your needs, not your
Yeah.
wants.
Yes, that part.
Like, He promises that, like, you're going to be taken care of. He
Yeah.
doesn't promise a savings account.
True that.
He promises, like, hey, you're going to be financially okay.
Mm-hmm.
His financially okay and your financially okay might be two different things.
100%.
Your financially okay is like, okay, I got a 401k. I'm making this amount of money. I got a nice savings account for rainy day. He's like, rainy day?
Not
rainy
allowed.
day money? He's like, you're going to make 35 bands.
Yeah.
Barely. But you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And we think like, okay, I got this. Now I got to get more. Now I got to get more. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
God did not promise any of that. So then you're like super frustrated over something God didn't promise.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be frustrated with God's promise, but we're chasing after things that God is not behind.
Yeah.
God is behind your well-being. He's not behind everything else.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with our culture. And that's why people are so like less patient, is because we're chasing after things that aren't even like guaranteed.
Yeah, that is true. That do be right. You do be right. And it's just like, I don't know. We just have to trust His plan, and even though it's not your plan, that's what's hard for me, because it's like, okay, like this is like, a lot of people have like 5-year plans or 10 years plans,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, that ain't gonna happen if it's not God's
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
So it's like, so I really just stopped planning. Is that bad? I just stopped, because you never know.
What you do tomorrow?
I don't know. What we doing tomorrow? For real, that's how it's like, though.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And that's the best way to live, really.
yeah.
Kind of like this podcast, like literally 10 minutes ago, you're like, what we talking about? I'm like,
We'll see.
You tell me. I don't know. There was this guy, he just left the church. He was working here, and he just like, he's moving somewhere else. And we were talking like the day before he left, and like he was excited to leave, but also like bummed out that he's leaving. It's one of those things. And he's like, I really felt like I broke my promise of like saying, hey, I'm gonna stay here for like a while.
Yeah.
He's like, I really feel like I'm breaking my promise. I was like, that's not God's promise.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
I was like, it's great that you make promises, but like, because he was showing like all the things that God's doing. Where he's going is like a God thing. His family's together, kids, grandkids, everybody's together. It's a God thing, how it all worked out. And he's like, I just feel like I'm breaking my promise. I was like, God didn't promise it, so I don't know why you bummed, So that's kind of the life that we have to live.
Mm-hmm.
And like your situation of just like showing you patience is like, look, if I just take it day by day, and I just do the things that God says it's going to happen, is like, hey, you're going to be all right. I'm going to take care of you. Don't compare to other people. Just focus on you, and He's going to lead you to where you need to go.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I love that you said it's a God thing. I love that. Because, like, whenever, after high school, I moved to Florida, and I went to a small Christian college, and I ain't going to lie to you, before I went, I was not, like, I don't know, I just wasn't following what God wanted me to do. I mean, I was out here, I was partying, I was doing all kinds of stuff, and so whenever it was time to, like, actually go to school, like, leave, I remember, like, I was, like, crying while driving to Florida, and I was like, first time I had prayed since who knows when, and I was like, God, please don't send me, please do not send me. I was like, I don't want to go, but then I was still like, dude, God literally told me, like, get up and go. And so I was like, I have to. But I was, like, crying. I was like, please just, like, give me a sign to turn back around, you know? Because I still wanted to live of the world. But then I got to Florida, and it literally changed my life. Like, I got rebaptized there. Like, it was the most, like, beautiful thing I've ever done. And I wish I would have stayed, but wasn't my plan. God's plan. He told me to come back home, so.
He gives, He can take away.
No, 100%. But it was so, like, amazing. Like, we called it, like, an FC bubble. Because, people, I feel like we fall into, like, this bubble, like, a Christian bubble, Because, like, you're supposed to surround yourself with, like-minded people, Christ-like-minded people. But we're also supposed to get out of that bubble and venture out to people who are not like that so they can know.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of Christians are too scared to do that,
Get out of the bubble. Yeah. We did that a lot in college because, like, A&M obviously is, like, tens of thousands of kids are in this Christian bubble.
Dude, yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, my gosh. And they're pulling out their notes in their Bible and their co-ed Bible study so they can flex on all the girls, right? And it's like, oh, my gosh. But at Walmart, whenever it's time to evangelize.
No, for real. For real. And it's just like.
I'm like, boy, you lame.
You have to get out of the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think people just get so comfortable and like, oh, like, I know you love God, so let's talk about it. Like, yeah, but what are you doing for God's kingdom? Like, yeah, you're building, but what are you truly doing?
Yeah.
Like, my favorite thing is, like, make heaven crowded. Like,
yeah.
I love that. Like, yeah, let's make heaven crowded. Like, come on, guys. Like, everyone jump in the bus and let's go.
Yeah.
So it's like, but if a Christian's already a Christian,
Yep.
we need to go out and, like, venture out and get people who aren't Christians. And I like what you said. You said on one of your podcasts, like, people look at Christians and they expect, like, a certain thing. And it's just like, and I feel like a lot of people view Christians as, like, this is my opinion. I feel like, especially in, like, a small town, like, a lot of people view Christians like, it's like, what's it called? Snooty. And, like, very, like, judgmental.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of us do be like that. A lot of us do be like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God calls us to, like, love everyone. If that means it's a freaking drug dealer down the street, then it's a drug dealer down the street. Like, it's crazy how God can change people's lives once, like, they know him. I mean, he definitely did it for me. Like, I mean, there was a time where I was in not a good place at all, and I was just like, dude, God, like, sorry I've been gone, but I'm back, and and like, I mean, I was like in the trenches, bro. Like, I was set off bad, and whenever I started living for him, literally, he had changed so much for me within a week. Like, that's all it took, like, and I was just like, whoa, like, you're freaking amazing. I was like, so I'm like, dude, other people need to feel this. Like, people need to feel this type of love. And, like, they need to know, like, who God is and, like, what he can do. And so it's just, like, we need to venture out. And, like, we were talking about over coffee that one day, and I was like, man, I just want to go out and help, Like, I just want to go to, like, different countries, and it's just, like, I just want to go, and I feel like not a lot of people have that energy about them. They're just like, oh, I'll stay here, and I'll, like, keep to myself, and,
Yeah, they're lame.
Yeah.
That's lame.
Yeah, like, that's not, God calls us to spread his love and his word, and we're just not doing that. And I hate that, and it makes me want to, like, what are we doing? Yeah, and I'm like, what are we doing, guys?
Because I'm 22. I'm 22 years old.
Yeah.
And, I'm at this church or whatever. And it's funny because, like, sometimes, like, the older people of our church, they're like, oh, dude, you have it so good here. It's like, you're in a nice spot. You're already here. You're 22. Like, this is a nice spot. I'm like, I promise if God tells me to dip right now,
yeah, I would.
Like,
yeah.
like, bro, it's so easy, especially for me right now. It's like, it's paying for my school. It's paying for me enough to live. I'm good. I'm 22 years old. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are staying right here. And it's like, I promise, bro, the moment I feel that I'm not needed here, peace. Like,
I'm dipping.
Like, peace, bro. And that's what people, and it's hard to tell people that while I'm still here, obviously.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I'm not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And the day I leave, people can be like, why would you leave? And people are going to be like, I don't know if that's a great idea. But, like, yeah,
because
I mean, if you're looking at it from a success, whatever scale, maybe, but, like,
yeah, you have to look at it from a God scale,
I'm trying to be, I'm trying to move in progress for the gospel. And I'm trying to go reach people. And if I'm feeling like, my thing is, whenever I was called to go into ministry senior year of high school, I was like, there's no dollar amount that I'm chasing. There's no state, no country I'm chasing. Wherever, bruh. Wherever there is a need for me, I'm going to go. So the moment there's not a need, I'm bouncing.
That's good though.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, a lot of
there's so many
don't
people
do
who
that.
live in the comfort.
Yeah.
There will be 4 pastors in one vicinity. And they're like, "You're just doing God's work." Bruh.
Dude, yeah.
That one guy can do this whole job, you know?
No.
And it's like, I'm not here to waste time. I'm not here to waste your time, my time, and I'm not here to waste their time. I'm not here to waste your money because you paying me just to sit around.
Yeah, and what what good is it doing if it's like they're giving the same
Yeah.
sermons over and over for years, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can
Got it.
like quote every single thing he's
Got
about
it.
to say.
Got it. Yeah, dude, it's like you just gotta keep going.
Yeah, and it's like,
But to go back around, you have to keep going.
yeah,
You have to be uncomfortable, but you have to still be patient.
mm-hmm.
So it's like, even though, let's say I'm ready to dip right now, I still have to be patient for God to show me what's next. I can't just be
Yeah.
like, I'm gone.
Peace out.
And then I'm like,
Where do I go? What am I doing?
There's steps to take.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't wait in a comfortable position in life. Like, if you have to go, you have to go, but be patient for God to show you.
Yeah.
And every person in the Bible who did anything great had to wait.
True, yeah.
Abraham, 25 years. Moses, 40 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
God's promise was there. And they knew, I'm called to go here. I'm called to do this. I'm called for this purpose. I got to wait.
Yeah.
Wait on the Lord.
Hey, go pop off.
Wait on the Lord.
Yeah.
He will renew your strength.
It's just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, my thing is like, I have to wait. Like, that's crazy. What? Because I'm such like a get up and go. Like, I want to get things done, you know? And it's just like, man, I can't do that. Like, God. So it's just like, okay, God, I trust you on this one. You know, I'm a little impatient, but it be like that sometimes, you know?
Heck yeah, dude. Dude, this episode's starting on the right foot. I like this episode already. Dang,
You lost
I just had a question.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Did you just say womp womp? Oh my gosh.
You understood.
So what do you think, like, for you, you're in the season of like learning patience and you're growing in skills right now and learning different things about the ministry and stuff like that. What do you think for you? Obviously it's up to God, but like right now, where do you think like what do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Like
in the
progress in
future?
life?
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
Like, do you think like you're I'm gonna go into the ministry person, or do you think like I'm going to use my whatever random job as a ministry?
See, like, I really want to work in ministry. I've just always felt like that's just somewhere I belong. And yeah, I've had a few rough patches, but you know,
everybody.
I feel like but I feel like I could, instead of dwelling on those things that had happened to me, I can use them and be like, dude, look how amazing God is. Like, I went through all this, but he's still good. You know, like, I went through this and he taught me so much. Instead of be like, you know, a lot of people are like, well, you know, God did this and this happened and like I went through this, so it's like, why should I? And I'm like, dude, he's just trying to teach you something. Like, he is building you better as a Christian.
And your testimony gives glory to God.
Yeah.
And it's like
Paul,
bro.
Yeah. My dude.
It's like a guy named Ananias, who, by the way, is only mentioned one time in the entire Bible. God makes Paul blind, okay? And Paul's chilling at this guy's house down Straight Street, it says. He's chilling at this guy's house. God tells a man named Ananias, never mentioned in the Bible before, never will be mentioned again. Ananias, go talk to Paul, pray for him, you know, get him straight. Ananias, all right. If I'm Ananias, I'm like, the guy who's killing your people. Like, bro, I promise there's a better. There's
got to be another way.
And the thing about God is he sent Ananias to do that, but it's after Jesus directly gave him a message.
Yeah.
Like, he did not send anybody else to talk to Paul to say, hey, you're persecuting
Yeah.
us. God was like, I'll talk to him myself. And I could just imagine Jesus sitting up in heaven like this. He's like, Paul, why are you persecuting me? And that was like business.
No.
It's like, you're not
strictly,
persecuting a
dude.
man. You are persecuting me.
Yeah.
And that's how important and that's how bad it actually was. And God was like, yeah, I'm going to use him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he saw the potential he had to be good. And if he is good, how much potential he had to be great.
How much, yeah.
And it's like, for you and for me, we have all our past and we have all of our drama and we have all of this like crazy stuff going on in life. Or all these like past super flaws that we made a mistake on. But it's like, okay, but you still have potential.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you continue to dwell on them, you're just holding yourself back. Like,
Yeah,
God
no,
forgives and forgets. It's time to move. It's time to
Yes.
go. So to be in ministry, people are like, well, I'm just not cut out because all this stuff. Who cares? Bro, name me one person in the Bible who was cut out for ministry,
I
bro.
know, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody cut out for ministry.
No.
Not for a perfect God ministry. I just spit all over there. Not for a
Oh, well, I
perfect
didn't
God
notice.
ministry, right?
Yeah.
To serve a perfect king, ain't nobody cut out for that. But you could be called to that.
Yeah. But also, like, and even if, you know, God, I might not be doing ministry. Who knows? It's just whatever God wants for me. You can always minister, no matter where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in the line at McDonald's or Starbucks, and you can still minister.
Yeah.
You can be at work. You can still minister.
Yeah.
Like, that's just such a thing, like an awesome thing about being a Christian. And you can always bring up God. And people are so scared to bring him up. And I don't know why, 'cause it's like, you say you love God, you know. You go to church, but you're too scared to talk about my boy? Like, like, what? Because you're scared of how people are going to view you?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be the first one, like, I love God, you know? Like,
yeah, get over yourself.
I know. I was in Bath and Body Works one day. You know, got to get my,
You know.
my good goods, you know. Well, anyway, and I was wearing, I think it was this shirt that he would love first, or that's not the shirt I was, yeah. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, one of my little Jesus shirts. And this dude, like, came up to me, and he was like, hey, where'd you get that at? And I was like, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me right now? And I'm like, I thought he was talking about my perfume or something, you know?
Here.
And I was like, yeah, actually, here, you want to smell it? And he goes, no, your shirt. I was like, oh, you know God? And he was like, well, I just, like, kind of started, like, you know, opening up my heart to him. And I was like, oh, this is exciting. I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, God, okay,
Don't
God.
screw us up. Don't screw us up. Don't
I
screw
know,
us
I
up.
was like, okay, God, trust me, I got this, I got you, my boy. And so, like, we sat there in that store for probably an hour
Really?
talking. And I was like, oh, like, I got, and dude, it was the most amazing experience. Because he was like, because right then and there, he ordered, like, 5 of these shirts and, like, a freaking Bible. And I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you, God, thank you, you know? And he was like, and I think I'd invited him to come here, but he had already been going to a church in Lufkin. But I'm like, hey, wherever you're going, just keep on keeping on, you know? And that was like, it's just like little stuff like that, just to show like you love God. Like, you don't know whose life you can change. Really, God.
Yeah.
Because, you know, every day I'm like, God,
You just
like,
have to do it.
yeah.
You just gotta be obedient.
And every day I like wake up, I'm like, God, use me in whatever way you want today. Like, use me to glorify your kingdom. And it typically happens. And I think that's so awesome. And it's like, I just love God, dude. You know? Like, I just love him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so amazing, and he does so much for us.
Yeah. People, like, I don't know. It's like they can't handle, like, it's not even pressure, bro. Like, they put pressure on themselves. It's like whenever the opportunity comes for you to evangelize, bro,
do it.
God has already done work in their life to prepare them for you.
For this moment.
So, like,
yeah.
you think you're going up to, like, some fresh person who's never even felt any. It's like, no. God's already prepared them for you. Whenever you go up to them, that's going to be a sign for you and for them.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're there for you, bro. Go and minister. And it's like, who's the minister here? My pastor's the minister. The deacons are ministers. My youth pastor's a minister. But so is everybody sitting down.
Yeah.
So is every worker, like you said, at fast food, at Walmart. So is every pipeliner. Like, everybody's a minister.
Yeah.
This guy just gets paid to be on stage and do it.
Yeah.
But you are a minister wherever you're at. So it's like, stop inviting your people to church to hear your pastor talk and start being a pastor.
Yes. Snaps for that one.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, stop putting everything on your pastor in your church. Hey, you should come to FBC. Forget FBC. Right now.
Dude, yes.
Welcome to Duke Bible.
Duke
Right?
Bible,
Like,
yeah.
Forget the church. I'm the church. Hello.
We are the church. Like,
so
we make the church.
You stop inviting people to come hear the gospel at your church, and you start putting the gospel in their lap.
That part.
Like, people are lame because they're scared to step up to the plate when God calls them. And they be like, I'm all for you, God. And it's like, brother, I've put 7 people this month in your path to talk about Jesus. Mm-hmm. And you toss the bag. I've already talked about it on this podcast. I was on a flight back from Miami, and it was like such a trash flight, bro. Like, people were getting kicked off the plane because they were fighting and stuff like that. But we finally get off, and this girl, she's like across the aisle from me. I don't even know how old she is. She's probably like maybe my age, maybe a little older. Mm-hmm. And me and her, we were just geeking the whole time, bro. Like, we were laughing at these clowns fighting. We were just, it was great. And like, I was talking to her, and her dad like was at the Cancer Research Hospital in Houston. So he had it bad. And I was like, dang. And like, we were talking for like the rest of the flight and stuff. And I really felt God was like, you better talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, you better.
I love those moments.
You better mention me. Here's the problem though. I tossed the bag. I did not talk to her. And I was like, all right, have a great day. So we got the flight.
Okay.
And I'm like, dang, I tossed the bag. I saw her again. Didn't say anything. And then, like, she went this way, I went that way, I went downstairs, all this stuff. Like, I'm done. I don't see her ever again. And I felt the conviction, bruh. I was like, you should have talked to her. You should have talked to her. And I was like, God, if I see her again, there's no way I'm going to see her again. She went that way. I went downstairs. I saw her again. Walked right past her, didn't say a word.
Dude, what?
But I don't even know, like, because I was so self-centered in the fact that, like, I was like, I don't want this girl to think I have some kind of crush on her. Yeah. I don't want this girl to think, like, I'm using Jesus. Like, oh, my gosh, do you need prayer? I was so self-conscious about what this girl thought about me.
Yeah.
And she probably wouldn't have even thought that because I had such a strong conviction to talk to her about Jesus. Mm-hmm. And that could have meant that she actually needed it and would have accepted it with open arms rather than judging me the way I thought she would have.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want her to think I'm like hitting on her or like just using that as a front.
Yeah.
God's like, bro.
Dude, yeah.
She needs it. And you're right there. Well equipped. And you think it's about you right now?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is Christians have to get over themselves, bro.
No, yeah.
Like
all that and bag of chips. No.
But if you don't quit playing with them right now.
For real. I gotta make sure my true laugh doesn't come out on here. You know what I'm talking about. Gotta,
The squawk.
Shut up, not the squawk. Oh, my Lanta. But no, yeah, we do need to get over ourselves. Because it's like, we are not here for us. Like, we're here for God.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of us get so caught up. And, like, oh, I want this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, you want that, but, like, what does God want?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we putting ourselves before we put, before God? And that's same with, like, relationships, like, boyfriend and girlfriends, like, man, dude, like, they, like, especially as, like, a woman, dude, like, I feel like a lot of women go all out for their boyfriends, no matter what. And it's like, why are we not going all out for God? Mm-hmm. Like, we're doing all this.
You go all out for a boy who's just going to cheat on you? That's crazy.
No, that part. Oh, my gosh. Bro. Exactly.
That boy got 4 girls in his phone right now.
Yeah, I know. And it's
my gosh, here's a new watch and a bag.
No. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, if he doesn't pray for you or anything.
They'd be like, oh my gosh, well, he's kind of abusive, but I love him.
Huh? Okay.
And then God's up there like,
I'm waiting.
I know, like
I have all the grace, all the love, all the mercy,
know.
all the blessings, all the
all of it. I
All
got it all,
all
the whole
the-
package.
I got everything. And you just tripping over some boy?
I know, literally.
Tyrone never gonna treat you right, girl. So
The
go get you a new one.
backyard again.
Go get you Bucky over there.
Bucky.
Bucky ugly, but Bucky gonna treat you
Bucky?
right.
Where did that
Bucky got buck teeth. But
Oh,
Bucky,
no,
but
not
Bucky's a
Bucky.
man. But he's a man of God.
True that. True. Who's gonna get you to heaven? Who's gonna push you to heaven, bruh?
Bucky, boy.
It ain't Tyrone over here.
Tyrone's not. Tyrell might.
Tyrone.
Tyrone's not though.
No, sorry
He's
for all
for
the
the
people named
streets.
Tyrone.
He's for the streets.
He's for the streets.
Poor Tyrell. He's over here hitting on up some other girl. She for the streets too.
Hey, Tyrone and the other girl need to get together.
Bro. And we're over here settling for people.
Yeah,
And it's like, why are you
That's the
settling?
thing,
There's 7 billion
yes.
people here.
dude.
Pick a better one.
Yeah.
Pick a better one.
Or
And if you
like-
can't find a better one, pick God.
Yeah, that's what I had to do, man.
Yeah.
I was in a pretty bad relationship. I was with the Tyrone, bro.
Tyrone, dude.
And it just like was just bad, dude. And I just had to be like, you know what? It just got to a point where like, dude, you're not helping me with my relationship with God. Like, you for the streets. So sure enough, kicked him to the streets. And like, and it was like a long-term relationship too.
Mhm.
Like, we were engaged.
Jeez.
Like, we were engaged.
Mhm.
And I was just like, you know, one day, this is going to sound terrible, but one day I woke up and like, I was just like, this is not what I want as like a future. Like,
Mhm.
you're not what I need in a future husband. Like,
Mhm.
you're not going to be the man that I need to raise a Christian family, like a God-based relationship. I couldn't even tell you how many times we talked about God because I don't think there was one,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy how you don't realize it, but people like hold you back.
Mhm.
And it's just like, oh, like, it's fine. Until you miss a Sunday at church, or like, you stop reading your Bible, you stop praying every
Downhill
day.
spiral.
And then it's like, and then it's so hard for me, like, whenever I stop doing that, like, it's so hard for me to get back into it because I'm like, like, I feel so guilty. And I'm like, hang on, like, how you doing?
Mhm.
You know? Because it's like, because you know what's right, you know what you should be doing. And then you haven't been doing it for a while. And then whenever you start to go back in it, it's like, I feel so guilty right now.
Yep.
But,
That's facts, man. We just out here playing games.
no, yeah.
And everybody be like crying, be like, God, why aren't you doing anything in my life? It's like, because
Yeah.
you the one playing. This could be us, but you playing. That's God.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
God, bro. You over here crying about why your relationship with God's not tight, and God's up there like, this could be us, but you playing.
No, yeah.
What a
like-
great song. I do not recommend that song to any of
Yeah,
my viewers.
But hey,
This could be
yeah.
us, but you're playing.
Yeah, that is.
And God just like, bruh, if you would just look at me.
Dude, yeah.
Look at me. Like, it's not that hard. He's not asking us to read a bunch of the Bible first.
Yeah.
He's not asking us to go to the altar and give everything up. The only thing he's asking for us to do to start is look at him.
Yeah, just notice him.
And
just-
you were saying that. It's like you
Yeah.
were living this lifestyle, and like all you did was just like turn back to God.
No, yeah.
It wasn't any crazy like, oh my gosh, the works I have to do, or it's like you look at
No.
him, and once you look at him, you said in a week it was just like everything was like,
Dude,
oh yeah,
yeah,
everything was better.
no. Like literally, I was sitting on the side of the road, bawling and squalling, dude. And I was just like, I gotta do it because
Mhm.
you know he's the only one that's gonna save me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all I said was like, hey God, like, I know it's been a minute, but
Mhm.
like, I need you.
Just look at him.
And then like, that's all I said. I was like, amen, because I just was so like emotion filled. Like I was just like, I'm like, God, you know my heart. You know
Mhm.
what's going on right now. Just like, I need you.
Yeah.
I want you. And literally 5 minutes after that, I got like a phone call. And then it was like one thing after another. He was showing me like you could have like had all of this all along, but it's okay. Like you
Mhm.
learned.
And some people get
things.
discouraged right there.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And some people are like, oh my gosh,
I could
I
have had
missed all that opportunity. I'm just gonna give up.
I know, and it's
You
like,
20 years old?
you just 20, baby. Calm down. But I was like, dang, like I feel so stupid. Like I could have had all this all along. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and then he's like, yeah, and I'm like, but I learned a lot.
And rather than being
know?
down about it, now you can understand. Be like, oh, that means something great's still coming.
Yeah, and I feel
If that's
like,
all that was gonna happen right there,
Mhm.
I got my whole life to live for this stuff now.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I feel like I can use so much of the things that has happened to me with others.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because I can, like, I'm such a people person and I can talk really well with people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, a lot of people be like, I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff. And I'm like, God, bro.
I'm the counselor.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, I have a lot of, like, there's been a lot of talks I've had with people younger, like, you know, these high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I've been through that. Let me help you. Like, let
Mm-hmm.
me, you know, because you know how crazy it was for me in high school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, let me help you. Like, dude, I know it's hard and I know you feel alone, but, like, I promise you, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, your number one best friend is here, you know, like,
Yeah.
your number one supporter. And it's like, just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not there.
In order to show people the love of Christ, you have to love them.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, you do a great job of that.
Oh,
It's like
thank
people
you.
know the love of Jesus because you tell them about it,
Yeah.
but you also show it to them.
Yeah.
The way you approach them, like the kid, like, cussing and stuff. So they're like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, bro, like, we don't got to do that.
Yeah.
Like, God ain't about that. Like,
Yeah.
you're better than that, bro.
And it's, like, hard because it's, like, yes, I work for, like, a Christian environment,
Mm-hmm.
but not everybody there.
I know that those people are just going over there to hang out sometimes,
Yeah,
bro.
no.
They don't even know it's a
yeah.
Christian camp. They're just like,
No,
all right, our event's
Dude,
going over here.
100%. Like, I remember one time I found a thing of, like, alcohol on the floor. And I'm like,
Yeah.
someone's partying it up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Bro,
so
back whenever we worked at Tomahawk, that was what was it, like, the someone came through like once a year and it would just be trashed with, like, alcohol and stuff.
Oh,
And it's like they're coming to a
yes, I
Christian
remember
camp, but like they're
that.
not there for Christ. It's like they're
Yeah.
just there for a venue. So it's like,
Yeah,
bro,
that-
use your
They're here for, like, our facilities, like
Yeah.
zip line, rock wall.
if you want to show the love of Jesus, you gotta love like Jesus.
Yeah. No, for real though. Like,
Like-
dude, it'd be
like,
hard
bruh,
sometimes.
Like,
though.
bro, why are you talking about how great God is if you're not acting
Dude,
great?
I
Like,
know.
oh my gosh, we serve a loving God. Shut up! Shut your mouth!
Dude.
God is so good.
I
What are you looking at?
know. For real though, like.
Have road
Oh,
rage with a
yeah.
bumper sticker. What would Jesus do?
I just feel like a lot of people can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk.
They
you
fake,
know?
boy.
Like, I don't. That's a lot of people though. Like, people can
Too
like
many,
you
bro.
can, and I feel like people put on such a game face,
Mm-hmm.
especially at church.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I love God, I love blah, blah, blah. But they're back here doing who knows what, you know, as soon as they leave, and it's like, oh,
That don't look good on you, girl.
like, yeah,
That don't look good on you, girl.
dude, that part it don't.
That fake lifestyle, that don't look good on you, girl.
I know, and it's like,
That people pleasing, nah. You need to be God pleasing.
yes, and I was like such a lukewarm Christian at one point, and honestly, I think that's like the worst because it's like, you know what you could be having, but you just being stupid.
Yeah.
And, like, you're just living out the world. But you know.
Bruh.
And it's like, you don't want this because you want to go and get drunk and high.
Yeah.
For what?
Mm-hmm.
What is that doing for you?
Yeah.
Nothing. You see what God could do for you, bro?
Mm-hmm.
And you're over here just playing all these other games? Like, what?
This could be us, what you playing.
Like, I look back at myself and I'm like, it's crazy. Like, I, like, think about all these memories I have. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that wasn't even me. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
even feel like me because of, like, how God changed me and my heart and my attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, it's hard to believe, like, that was me back then.
Yeah.
Like, even in pictures, I'm like, I look so sad and depressed. And I'm like, why do I look like that? And I'm like, oh, I didn't have God in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the other day, I was actually, like, comparing pictures. I'm like, even, like, you can see it physically
Mm-hmm.
how much, you know, you can radiate God's love.
Yeah.
And I think that's insane. Like, insane, like, amazing, like, awesome, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I just want to punch people sometimes, and I'm like, get your head in the game, bruh. You know?
I'm with you.
Especially if, like, I see, like, they have so much potential to be such an amazing person. And, like
Paul.
Yes, and you could really see, like, how they can, like, share God's love.
Mm-hmm.
But they just want to be dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of dummies.
I know it, man.
I'm
That's
going to get,
wild.
like, a bag of dum-dums, you know, and start
Just
handing
throw
them
at
out to
people
the
and-
kids.
Here you go.
know?
Here you go.
And when they're acting dumb
Oh,
here,
thank you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
you're being a dum-dum,
Yeah, 'cause-
bro. Dude.
Because you're stupid. You out here acting.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're an idiot.
Dude, no. Dude, how funny would that be, though?
Bro. Yeah.
Oh, my
If you're going to
Lord.
lead people to the promised land, you got to be focused.
Yeah.
Moses never got to the promised land because he wasn't obedient
Yeah.
and he was holding himself back, and the people around him were complaining and doing all things wrong, and he tried to go on his own power.
Yeah.
You can't get to the promised land if you're trying to do it on your own. You can't get to the promised land if you're worried about the people around you, trying to make them happy and
Dude,
pleased.
yeah.
Please God.
And, like, that's, like, a hard thing, too, for me. It's, like, I'm such, like, a... You know, I lost my mom at a young age, and she was
Mhm.
my best friend, really the only parent I had. And so, from, like, by, like, 13, that's when my childhood ended.
Yeah.
You know, I had to grow up, because who was
Mhm.
going to take care of me?
Mm-hmm.
My sisters had all moved off, you know, so I'm
Mhm.
like, man, I gotta figure this stuff out,
Yeah.
you know? So it was like, I'm such like a very independent person. And I don't like asking for help because I'm like, I got it, you know, because that's just what I've been used to. So it's like, it's hard because like, I don't even want to ask God for help sometimes because I'm like, no, I got it. Girl, you do not got this. Like, you need him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need him.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'm like, girl, yeah, you're right. I would just be having a conversation with myself. I'm like, girl, yeah, you're right. You do
Girl.
need him. Let me go do that real quick, you know?
Facts.
Because it's just like, I just never want to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. Because I'm like, you know how much easier it would be if you just asked? That's all you got to do, too. Like,
Just look at him.
for real.
Bro, just look at him. Life's going to be better.
For real, dude.
Shoot.
And like, dude, in the book of Mark, there's like, you know, he was telling people like, you come on, like, you know, getting his people ready. And the fishermen, like, it was crazy. It was like, they left at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could have been like doing a job, doing something, and he said, come on, and he said, okay.
They left at once.
Family, everything.
Yep.
And I just love that, like, at once, you know?
Leave at once, bro.
I freaking
Sometimes
love that,
like
bro.
people trying to get their stuff in order.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my relationship over here kind of weird, so let me fix my finances at once.
Dude, no, like, drop everything
At once,
and go.
because at once is faith.
Yes.
At once, bro. I don't care how nice the job is,
Mm-hmm.
or how much money you making, or how many friends or relationships you got. At once.
I love that.
And if you
like,
go at once, I'll be there.
yeah. Instead of, dude, I
Bro,
love
this
that.
episode's been rocking. This been rocking, bro.
Dude.
Shoot, bro, what are we 45 minutes in?
Ain't no way. Dude, I feel like me and you, we could just talk.
Forever, bro.
Dude,
That's
for
why
real.
that's why I like the podcast, and that's why like it originally started is because like I'll be talking to friends, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, 3 hours, and then I'll be like,
For real.
dang, that was good. Like I wish people would hear that,
No,
and that's exactly why I
yeah.
started it. Just talk to people, and really, that's why I really don't like to do it by myself. Is because like I like having conversations with people
Dude,
because
same.
your perspective and my perspective are different, and then
Mhm.
whatever I say, you can then feed off of that, and I can feed off you. So it's like, I mean, we could talk for 45 days straight if we
Yeah,
wanted to,
should
you know.
I still think you should do that tough stuff series.
Oh, bro, we doing it, bro. We're doing like a tough stuff series here. We're doing like a
Like on your podcast?
we're doing a like mental health, like probably like a 3-part series, and it's gonna go like in depth into like testimony and stuff like that. I've been trying to like draw stuff up for it, and it's gonna be pretty cool.
I want to see that.
It's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be dirty. Like,
yeah.
it's gonna be real.
Because, like, I don't know.
That's why I tell people, I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to have no G-rated podcast.
Dude, no.
I'm trying to have like PG-13 bumping.
Because, like, a lot of you're gonna get me started again. A lot of people don't understand, like, because the church doesn't want to talk about it. And I'm like, it's real life though. Like, it's happening. Like, you can't stop it. Like, it's gonna happen.
So you gotta fight it.
And like we need to know what to do in those times. Especially like a woman. I don't know if you want me to go into it because you're gonna like talk about it and like you're serious.
Do it.
Okay, but especially like as a woman, dude, it is like because I feel like people put so much stuff on men and like lust and sex and like and I'm like, women, bro, like just think about it. We have all these hormones and like stuff, and it's just like we struggle with it too. And like nobody wants to talk about it because it's like sex, it's like we don't talk about that. Let's talk about it because it's like very real and people struggle. Like I struggle, and it's just like nobody's like everybody's too ashamed or scared to talk to them, and I'm like, girl, like we know you be doing stuff like and it's hard.
Okay,
it's tough.
Okay, pause right there.
Yeah.
Pause right there.
Okay.
You and me.
Represent
Podcast. We're about to wrap it up. Next week's this week's episode is with her, obviously. Next week's episode is gonna be with you again. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna record again. Like in a couple days, we're gonna record again.
Okay. I mean, I'm off,
look,
so.
bro. The title. This is already a title.
Okay.
I got bars for days in here.
Okay. Yes.
Listen. The title. Let's talk about sex.
Dude.
And then the subtitle is gonna be like something like probably like playing with fire or
yeah. Dude.
So lock it in. We're locked in. Madison's gonna be here next week.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it'd be nice
next
to
week's
have,
going
like,
crazy. Next week's going crazy.
No, because like you need like a woman's perspective too.
Next week's going crazy. Next week's going crazy.
I'm very passionate about
Represent
this stuff,
Podcast. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, that episode was crazy. I can't wait to edit this thing.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I mean, your patience will lead to your deliverance. Be patient. Get out of. Don't be afraid to leave places. What am I trying to say right now? Get out of don't chase after being comfortable. Evangelize the people. We covered everything. Shoot.
Locked in for real.
I know. I'm trying to
process everything.
I'm trying to recap everything, and I just really can't do it. Anyways, yeah, thinking of a title for this episode is going to be interesting because we talked about so much.
Yeah, dude.
Everything.
Everything.
Anyways, Represent Podcast every single Tuesday. Follow us on all socials. We'll be here with Madison next week.
Yeah.
And we talking about sex.
You should do like the end of this, like a preview, like next week. Yeah.
Pornography.
No.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again.
Thank you.
This was awesome. And we'll be back next week. Love y'all. Peace.